We'll call the Pownal Select Board meeting to order on Thursday, May 14th, for a special meeting at 6 PM. We'll pass that. To do bid opening for 1-ton truck and rake tractor, sand purchase, repair, TH-25, salt shed replacement, guardrail proposal for Lad Road, Old Military, South Stream Road, excess weight permit approval, alcohol and drug policy, and review and discuss and sign sheriff's contract, approve warrants, and personnel. Okay. Get
I
approval.
move to approve the agenda.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The warrants, we'll get them out of the way so we don't forget them. Okay, accounts payable ending 5/15/15 in the amount of $16,909.45. There's a check to the IRS. It's a little over, almost 2,500. There's calcium chloride, water technologies, and other big ones. Okay. Payroll ending 5/15/15, the amount of $7,137.39. Accounts payable invoice ending 5/16/15 in the amount of $4,500. This is for the senior center. That one was.
That was for the repairs in their building.
They did the repairs, now they get the money from the state.
I'm gonna say, are they completed now? Okay. Okay, so with that said, get a motion to approve them.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Henry,
hi Henry.
Yours done?
It's okay, come on in and have a seat. Okay, I'm gonna take these out of order if you guys don't mind.
can you get that excess weight permit, because I only have one and it's a board motion.
Oh, okay. Let's get it done.
And there's an extra copy of the sheriff's.
Okay.
For Henry.
Okay, and you can look at these if you want, we've already approved them.
Okay, that's fine. I'll look at them later.
Okay. You have an excess weight permit here for Belco. And basically, our road foreman has seen it and signed it. What's your pleasure? They have their insurance.
Move to approve it.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. That's done. Let's talk about repairs to TH-25 first. I'm gonna try to pick the ones that'll go quicker first. You let me know if I'm not.
Yeah, that's good. You have a section of road, Snake Hill Road. It's in North Pownal over the bridge. There's a section that was riprapped 30, 35, maybe even 4 years ago. Big stone, but all that stuff is settled. The plan was to go in there, pick out them bigger stones and reset them to gain some shoulder. The blacktop had actually just fell away, so that all has to be dug out. Dug down to about 18 inches in fabric, stone, and gravel to get it back up to grade. And repairing the shoulder at the same time.
That's the one, Henry, that Tom did way back
Yeah.
years ago.
Tom actually did that?
I think it was Tom that did the.
Well, he may have added some cold patch or something to the shoulder, but I don't know if any riprap. That riprap is all the way down almost to the brook.
Yeah, well, we dumped some of a
Pretty
couple
heavy duty.
places that ran
Well, that's where
out.
we did work at that time, if I recall.
Yeah, because we had the same
Okay.
problem.
And I'll tell you, it was one or the other. It was either Murray or Murray,
Dicky,
no, Lewis, but
Michael's.
Mike. There you go,
Put it in.
Mike or Burgess
put it
did
in.
it.
Yeah, I remember Burgess doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. If there was any riffraff done at all. That's all. That's why I'm saying that.
I added some stone there 6, 8 years ago to try to get over there to try to at least reach the stuff, but there's no way I can reach it. So that's basically something that's going to be over $5,000, so it's going to have to bid out.
You got an estimated cost? Ballpark?
I've gotten estimations, but it's over $5,000.
So he's can approve, so. So what let's just approve bidding it out. He can write it up, put it out to bid. So I get a motion to do that?
Make a motion to put the
TH,
Snake Hill Road out to bid.
Second it.
any further discussion?
Yes, we're gonna offer that to local contractors first. Give a list of our local people.
It'll,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. All those in favor say aye?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Yeah,
Salt shed replacement?
call your pilot, okay?
The shed that we have is old. I don't know how old it is, but it's,
This is the one at,
one at the highway department garage.
Okay.
It holds about 80 ton of salt. It's really deteriorated pretty bad. It was, I don't know what they call them, they're 8x8 panels and they're bolted together. And of course the bolts were, a couple of them are rotted off pretty good shape. One side is earth shouldered, so it's starting to cave in towards the inside of the building. And it's just pretty well rotted. I think the floor is savable. It's 22 feet wide and it's 22 feet deep and it's 16 foot high.
that's the one that's right next to that big bank?
Yep,
Right when you pull into the,
yep.
to the,
What are the measurements right now?
Right now it's 22 by 22 by 16 high.
I guess the question I would ask, because you're talking about rebuilding this whole thing, I know you talked about saving the floor maybe, but is that the best place for this over there, or should we be if we're gonna build a new one, should we be looking at building it somewhere else there? I'm thinking of the fact that you might go into that bank and crush some of them stones and stuff that was put in there.
Well, that bank could come out of there. I mean, it's all tailings, I think is what it looks like.
Yeah, I think
It
that's
was-
where they were put and covered back years ago, so you got a ton of them in there.
Right now, a dump trailer can actually pull in there and back right into it. Pretty
Okay,
easy.
okay.
I
I
mean, they
just,
could go to the length of the parking lot, but that would need to have to be plowed out regularly when now we just plow in front of the shop and around the circle to go down and get sand. So, I mean, if we put it anywhere else, we'd be starting right from scratch, which basically we're gonna start from scratch anyway, I guess.
yeah, well, that's why, I'm just saying, give you the option where you think it should
We
be.
should have actually discussed that when we was over the shop there, but it wasn't on the agenda there, so we didn't really get into it too much.
Now, as I remember, the floor was pitched the wrong way. That was a concern
It's
you had.
level. So
Oh,
what
it is
happens is
level,
when the
okay.
rain hits it, it just lays there.
Okay.
So
So that's probably not something
Nope.
we want to work with a new building, right? We'd want to put a new.
Yeah, and I don't know how thick
pitch
it
up,
is,
pitch
or
it out.
if there's, I don't think there's a crack in the floor anywhere, so.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, it's just, I would urge you, even if you don't know tonight, I would urge you to look at where you think this should, I think we need the salt shed. I think the board's gonna
Absolutely.
agree with that. The real question is, where do you want it and the actual size? And think of the fact that, we've been down in the other pit where they dug the hole. Now you got all this to the left that we really could work in, that we know there's a bunch of tailings and things where we could have a crusher come in and really get a lot of stuff out of it. Maybe we should be thinking that way on opening that up, start working on that side. I'm just, throwing that out there. You know better than I what you can do over there and can't. I'm just thinking, is it the right place?
Have you spent any time looking for any buildings or any?
Nope, I just figured that it would be the cheapest route would probably be, to pour a slab and lay up some 8-inch thick walls, 3-sided, stud it up just like it is right now and put a metal roof on it.
I'm gonna say pour a 4-foot wall around the outside.
I would
right
say
on
we
there.
probably want to pour a wall being for
Pour a
strength.
wall.
Oh, okay, you said, all right.
Yeah, I would just do it all.
A lot of towns are using those canvas things now.
Yeah.
Seem to
How
They-
durable are they?
be
Or?
happy with them. I don't know. West Rutland has a huge one up there built on like those throwaway blocks Daly's has.
Yep, cubes.
Yeah. And they were very happy, and it's big. You can almost back a trailer on, well, you can back a trailer under it, but a lot of room.
I see the one when I go through by Brunswick there.
Yeah.
Big,
Dome.
is that what that's used for, salt?
Yeah.
Okay.
That may be something worth looking into. I don't know.
Yeah.
And as far as, how bad is the floor over there, Casey?
The floor on the
On
existing,
that, yeah.
floor's not bad, it's just not deep enough.
I understand, no, I understand that.
I don't think there's a crack in it anywhere, but like I say, it's level so that the water just lays there.
Well, the water gets in there because of the,
No
because there's no overhang.
No
It's
overhang.
just kind of, there's no overhang on
Plus the
that
wind
roof.
comes from that direction too.
Well, that's okay, but
Well,
if
you can put a slant in the floor.
yeah, you can slant, you can,
Yep.
pitch the rest,
It's
the
not-
outside and gonna extend your building, was that the idea?
Yeah,
Make it bigger,
make it-
right?
It'd be nice to have 3 or 4 times the capacity because
Well,
we
that's
know how the salt shortage has been the
Yeah,
last couple of
so,
years. The more
you
you
know,
have
But whether it's
stockpile,
there or
the-
not,
We can get, just about 200 in the warehouse
Yeah,
down.
yeah,
down
and then,
North
whether you wanna save what's there or not, you'll find that out quick enough when you figure out how much a square foot of, flooring's gonna cost.
Yeah, and wall.
Yeah,
Then you'll know what the value is of the one that's there.
Now the
So
floor
that's
could
kinda
also be
simple.
paved, correct?
what's that?
The floor could also be paved if you had foundation walls. I suppose
Yeah.
because it won't, it'll be.
You'd have to have a footing to lay a
Yeah,
concrete wall on.
right.
But once you get the footing poured, I mean, yeah, you could, and actually you could pave it right from, and pitch it as much as you wanted, right over the top of the concrete.
Wouldn't be working the concrete when it gets wet, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely worth looking into. Maybe talk to a couple different towns that have different ones. How much can North Bennington put in there? Is any idea?
It's not very big, but they only use a couple hundred ton a year, so.
300, I think total, but yeah, it'd be worth getting a few different ideas and a few different prices.
Yeah, then come back again with giving us more
So,
detail.
so right now, we're 22 by 22.
Yeah, I get about 80 ton in there.
So you'd
and
like to
that's
what-
so that it's not coming out of the side of
Do
the
you have an
building.
idea what you'd be looking at? Doubling it, tripling it?
Well, if I went 20 feet deeper than what it is, I could probably put 200, 250 ton in it.
Which is where you wanna be.
How much storage do you have in North Pownal?
About 200.
That's it.
And I could actually take down there, and I could pour a concrete wall another 60 feet and stack a whole row of it in there. 'Cause right now it's up 8 feet. Down, I guess it's 8 by, it's gotta be 40 feet. So we're actually just stacking it right in the corner. We bring it out on the floor until it goes towards the wall. But,
The only reason I even brought it up was because you have 2 facilities. And,
right,
it isn't that we only have one.
Sure.
We're using 2,
Right.
so.
Well, the advantage of that is that you don't haul your trucks fully loaded from there to there. Or
that, the
there
other thing is
Well,
like
that's
you,
the
like
reason
you're
why you're
saying,
doing it.
you
I
don't know
understand.
when you're gonna get salt and how much salt you're gonna get, and later in the year, it usually ends up getting wet and chunks, and you're getting all the stuff
Okay.
that's,
Yeah.
I
That'll
can't
be fun.
imagine, the price would be. It's not like you're going to pay twice as much for twice the size of the building either.
No.
Right? So see some fabric building with recon blocks. I can't imagine a little bit bigger is going to cost that much more. It's
and
definitely good insurance in the winter when everybody's screaming for
Well, that's
salt.
what, okay, but all I'm just saying is I don't know just what kind, I know that it's in bad shape or how bad shape or,
maybe
know,
if you get a couple minutes there, stop
We'll
over and
stop over and we'll
and
take a
that,
look.
we'll put it, we'll
But I
figure,
think that, the bottom line to it is we can talk about it forever, but let's find out what the actual cost is gonna be that the town's gonna face.
That's where that's why I said, go away, look at what you
Yeah.
think, give us a
Right.
cost.
We have money in that, we have money right now. How much,
building fund.
how much do we have, do you
No,
know?
I don't have it.
Got your funds here in front of you.
Yes, on the thing there.
Fund balance on, building fund.
$19,429.
The building fund?
I'll get you the concrete.
Floor.
Well, now you do that.
That's
Yeah, it's expensive.
the one roll.
Not a lot.
This is road fund right here. Concrete.
Yeah,
Oh, not a lot of money. But back before Irene, when the town, Bennington was looking at new facilities, and we went around and looked at different buildings and
Right.
stuff. We came to a few towns with that dome type thing, and
Yeah.
they really liked them, and I was surprised how huge a building they got for not
Yeah, well, they got a
hundreds
cover.
of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, well,
you
they
know,
got a cover.
and they were happy with them.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
No, I mean, they're being built all the time, as far as the,
yeah, and I think they're
It'd
more
be,
and more.
it'd be interesting to know the lifetime expectancy to the,
Yeah, and I knew it at that point, but I can't remember. I wouldn't even throw a number out, but it's quite a while.
They're galvanized too, right?
Yeah, the pipes are, yeah. Yep, and you don't have to be an engineer to build one either, put one up. So, it wasn't, West Rutland, I think, had a real nice one, or Rutland Village, whatever they call it, but they really liked it, and they had it like 5 or 6 years at the time, so. Worth looking into, and that's the answer, but
Yeah.
it'd be worth looking into.
Yeah, I think that's, we'll have Casey go away, look at the options, come back
Yep.
and present something.
Absolutely.
Let's move on. Guardrails. Ladd Road, Old Military, and South Stream Road.
Yeah, there was a couple accidents off of Barbers Pond and Old Military Road making the corner. They run right into there's actually guardrail posts there, but there's no rail on them. So my suggestion is to put a section of guardrail there. It's all radius panel, so it's all going to be new. And whatever's left, we budget $5,000 to do that, with $2,000 for repairs. So maybe the rest of what we have left on Ladd Road,
Where's this South Stream spot?
well, South Stream Barbers Pond, and
Oh, okay.
Old Military Road.
Okay, that's the one, when you say Old Military,
TH3,
okay, so you're talking, when you say Old Military and South Stream, you're talking about the same spot.
right.
Okay,
There's a house right on the edge of the road.
yeah, I know where it
and you
is.
talked to her about it?
I haven't yet, but I will.
Okay.
The day I was over there with the contractor that looked at it, there was nobody home. They usually leave pretty early in the morning.
Okay.
Okay.
So do you think we can get those two jobs within that budgeted amount?
Yeah. I've actually got a quote somewhere.
Board in agreement, have them go ahead and do it?
Yeah.
Just do it,
I think so.
Yep.
okay? That one you can take care of. Alcohol and drug policy. It's on here. I thought the board moved on some of that. Where are we at? Is there steps we have to take yet? Is that the,
I read the policy, and the only thing that I saw that will have to change is the town's personnel policy, just to adapt it to the, which is really not that, in the last 5 years, there's been 15 different ones, so I don't know which one we're actually working from, but the one that, it just needs to incorporate the same language as the personnel policy that the town has already.
okay, so it would basically incorporate this alcohol and drug policy into that? the
I guess
total
unless
personnel
somebody-
policy?
Which one?
Did you read?
I don't know, I
That's
think
what
we
I
ought to
said.
get one in front of us.
Well,
and
let's
then-
get one in front of us,
That's
and
what I
let's be for sure that it starts fresh.
Yeah, it sounds like it to me.
I mean, I didn't realize that you had more than one. I mean,
there's-
I've had,
What-
I was looking at one last year there.
We
as
did,
a
we did
board.
one years ago,
Yeah,
but there's been one that's done since then, so.
okay, so I'm a little lost, Casey, so I
Yeah,
guess we
there's
better
been,
get,
there's been
we better
three,
get one that we,
three that I know of in the last 5 years, right, Linda, at least? Cause something would change, and that policy would have to be redone. And,
Here's,
So
here's,
there must be a current
well,
one.
here's
there's
what
a
I like,
current one, but I don't know,
here's what I'd like to do. Linda, put together whatever the current policy is, because it sounds like there's pieces where it's been adjusted, and put the policy in front of us that's accurate today, even if you have to handwrite in some things that have to be changed, and then let's find out what we need to do with this. Then we'll have a policy in front of us that's up to date, and then we can move on it, or we can change it, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But let's
The
get it in front
personnel.
of personnel policy.
Okay, but the
Right.
drug and alcohol thing we have.
We
Yeah.
already approved that. It needs to be added to. So when she puts this in front of us, put that right on it. tell us where it's gotta go.
Yeah, the only thing I saw that was there is,
We'll have,
there's no language in the actual policy that we have that has to do with testing and all that stuff, so that's just gotta be
yeah,
incorporated.
quarterly testing and that stuff, okay. Yes, so we just put it in, just get it, and we can look at it. It doesn't hurt to review, especially, I don't even know what the personnel policy is today. Be nice if we saw it, look at it.
Well, I did see one, I got it, as a matter of fact, it's home, so I don't know if it's a new one or the old one or which one I've got, so, since I didn't realize that the town had
A bunch of them.
a bunch of them, so.
Well, it was,
Whatever the
it was,
old
it was,
are,
it was,
please, just-
to be fair, it was revised, a couple, 3 different times within a 5-year period.
Well, they must have been, well, that's fine, as long as they got rewrote and there's a new one and whatever that is, we better use it.
Well, we'll get it in front of us and we'll deal with it. Okay, that takes care of that. Let's do sand purchase.
Yeah, there is still sand over there, but not enough in quantities, where it's starting to get pretty, dead sandy. And, I mean, it does work, it's just that it's getting harder to go through a sander. And, we probably should start at least, trying to figure out other ways of, local.
You know how many yards you're gonna wanna put up?
Well, we usually, on average, the building behind the shop holds about 1,800 yards, and the one down the warehouse, you could probably get, 3,000 yards in it anyway.
So if you went out to bid for 5,000 yards, sand, then we can get a price,
Yep.
and then we can put the 18 there and the 3 down here, and the other 200 we'll put it somewhere for sure. So I wanna do it just around
Yeah,
the numbers.
that's not bad, the town put up 3,500 15 years ago,
Yeah,
I bet if you look that up.
yeah, so it's not much difference when, and you added a lot more
So, I
road.
mean, it hasn't changed much over the, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, we've been very,
So-
very conservative, very good, I think.
So let's go to bid.
We'd be looking at 5,000 yards total
Yeah.
delivered to our facilities?
Yes, yes.
Yes, I guess if
So
that's,
how would we split that up? How would you?
Well, 18 there and the rest go down there.
it's-
Whichever way you wanna put your bid out.
yeah, well, I know the square footage of this building down there, the one down there, seeing as how it's not, footing to footing, it's just in the center of the, and we have a road that goes on the back. I couldn't tell you exactly how many, but if they put 1,800 yards into this building over here, and the rest of it would go down to North Pownal.
And just write your bid up so they know where to deliver, 1,800 there and the rest down there, and do a 5,000
I would-
bid.
I would, if I was gonna bid it, I'd have that bid 2 ways. In their site and on our site. That gives us an option,
It's going on where their site is, but it gives
okay?
us an
We
option.
have 4 or 5 trucks. Just, who knows, I have no idea, but you'll be able to come up with saying, hey, I know which way to go, there it is.
Do you have some
Or
kind
we
of,
could hire some other, whatever, I mean, that, not necessarily that we would do it, but it's
Yeah.
just a good,
do you have some kind of sand spec that you're looking
Well,
for?
just a halfway clean sand, like I said, we don't, I'm sure that there is a spec, I don't think if you're gonna deal with local people, I don't know if they're not gonna wash it or nothing like that, so I mean, I don't know what you
Except for
would use.
galleys, I assume you'd get a price.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do have a price of exactly what their stuff costs in their yard, but that's really clean,
yeah.
washed sand.
Super clean,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Well,
But I guess you could.
we can, when we do the bid,
Oh,
we
you
can
can
have them specify, clean
I think-
sand, non-clean, have them do a double
I
bid.
think,
Like, yeah.
Some of them won't be able to
I
do
think
it,
there was a,
I would
think-
just, I would
RJ,
say.
I think there's
clay down.
specs available, from, your department down there, because you bought sand, if there was any specs. You follow? If there was any.
Yeah, no, there isn't there either. But Who does the town use for an engineer, civil engineer? Pownal? Never
State.
ever?
Random, usually it's the
Well,
state.
state, right?
Well, you
Oh,
usually
used
ask
to.
you usually ask the state for any information that
That would,
you want
that's
to
where I
add.
would
District
go.
one might have a
A spec.
generic.
Or anybody that actually has sand for sale. If they was to put up a pile of it, say, to 10 yards of it in their lot, I could take a look at it, and if it was worthy of winter road sand, then,
Well, I think that you know that before you even, if you're gonna do business with somebody, you'll know that pretty well.
Yeah, as long as you're happy for, there's not a lot of silt in it. It's gonna
right.
Yeah,
tunnel your augers and everything else, give you a
Yeah.
hard time. Yeah,
You want clay?
I guess we just don't wanna, we want Casey to accept the sand, we don't want the price to accept the sand.
Yeah.
You know, if they're trying to sell us.
Good
clay.
point. That's a good point. That's what
Okay.
we want. But
That's my
again,
only concern.
yeah. But I think that the person I would, to get specs, I think we just ask the state there. I think you could ask them that, Casey, and
Yeah, I believe they're using, like, say, something like Peckham's got, it's a wash sand, and
Yeah.
it's gritty and no silt in it.
right, but, okay.
That's what I believe they got up there, I don't know,
It is, and it's relatively cheap, it's $5 a ton, I think, or thereabouts, so. They may
just,
be the cheapest one anyway, so who knows, but,
Well, let's find out.
yep.
let's find out. Yep. Let's do it.
So 5,000
Yep, you're gonna do
yards
it.
to bid.
Yep, the bid, the sand.
We're gonna bid it delivered and bid it,
Not
Two ways, just.
Delivered and
just
not
to do
delivered.
it.
bed it in a pile,
FOB
in
or
their
delivered.
yard,
Yep.
And loaded,
and loaded.
and, right?
You want them to load it, yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
and
you're gonna
loaded.
put a loader up
Yeah,
there.
I'm sure that'll be.
Well, and that usually is the way that's done, I believe.
Yeah, but make it clear so they don't charge you for the loader time.
Okay.
Freight, that's why they call it freight on
And
board.
probably, yeah, okay.
Yeah, freight on board, yeah, FOB.
All right, and I'm sure that we probably will have it delivered, but,
But,
okay.
okay,
what, my question is, what do we have for funds to work with for sand? What do you-
We've never actually
Sand and
purchased
salt budget.
sand,
or is that strictly-
salt is separate.
Okay,
I think there's $5,000, I think, in there for, materials. Probably most of that'll be used on Snake Hill Road.
yeah, I gotta say,
Would it come out of the
Portion.
gravel crushing fund? Because that's
Uh,
normally where the money's spent.
For crushing gravel, for
Yeah.
making gravel, not so much sand.
Oh,
Well,
we have 5,000 budgeted for sand and gravel
Yeah.
for July.
yeah, that's where you're at.
well, let's do it this way.
We can get numbers
I
first,
believe
and-
that, there's X amount of dollars in that budget that will be left over that is not accounted for.
Undesignated
Be-
funds?
Well, because you're not putting it up.
Oh, yeah,
We
yeah.
have a,
So there's money.
we have a contingency.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is, if we're
I
looking,
agree with you, but the term they'll wanna hear is that we have a contingency fund. We'll take it from the contingency fund, and then at that point, we can move some around later, but right now, if somebody says, where's that coming from? You can't, I couldn't say, take it from this budget and put it there, because I don't know what that budget's gonna be at the end of the year. But I can say we can pay it from the contingency right now, if we accept this bid, whatever it is.
Okay.
Just the accounting
Great.
the accounting will want us to do it that way.
okay, very good.
And they're getting real funny. Much more stricter than they used to be. Okay?
That's fine, that's okay.
Yeah, because
All
then
I'm
we-
saying
they'll-
is
Oh, there'll be money.
if you're discussing that we're gonna, bully up the road budget because of purchasing it, I don't have any fears of that. That's why I said that,
Oh, yeah.
okay? Because if you don't put it up,
Well,
you're not spending that money.
well,
You're spending it, but someplace else.
if we don't put that sand up, we won't worry about the budget.
Well,
People will be in here with a different
well,
complaint come
no,
winter.
that's our job to put it up.
And the other,
It's our
We'll
job
do
to
that.
do
the
it.
other question is, we're gonna spec it in yards, 5,000 yards.
Yes, not tons.
Okay, okay.
Yep,
That was the, quote that I got at the plant up there.
yeah, we want it in yards. You know you're gonna use around 5,000, better to have it.
Okay.
Okay, everybody in agreement with that? Going to bid? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, what we got left for roads here? How about, opening truck bids? Then you got a rake tractor.
Maybe two of the same. One I think was just the truck, and then the other that he'd sent was the whole total package. I think there's three there. I sent out 5 or 6, and
Ones that wanna stop today?
I didn't open them, but you can. Some of them were sent fax because they couldn't make it down here.
Oh, so these are faxed?
Yes.
You wanna open them, Nelson, or do you want me to?
Go ahead, start at that end, it's fine with me. Then I'll end up here and then I'll, either take your notes or I'll write my own notes and then read them off. Everybody's gotta look at them anyways, so. And this is to replace the 1 ton you have over there?
To replace the 3/4 ton.
3/4 ton?
01 Ford F-250.
Okay, this is a bid for a 2015 11,000 GVW 4-wheel drive diesel flatbed dump truck. The bidder is Foster Motors Incorporated in Middlebury, and it's a Ram truck, 3,500 chassis. The truck price is $41,342. The body is $15,100. The warranty is $3,625, which is a total of $60,067. The second bidder, excuse me, is Goss Dodge Chrysler. Total bid price is $54,500. There's an option here of a 9-foot Fisher straight blade heavy duty plow, installed for $4,850.
Do you have any specs on the truck?
Yeah, specs are included, but the breakdown for the price is definitely, all the information isn't here that the first one had.
What
Yeah,
am I missing?
what's the spec on the truck? What is it? It's a
It's
what?
the same 11,000 GVW.
Okay, so it's, okay.
So these are both Dodge trucks?
They are.
Both these bids?
Correct. And this one's just totaled out. That one's a breakdown. So
Okay.
if he met the specs that Casey supplied, it should 54.5 is the total.
Okay, and this one was,
6,062.
Third one is Stoneham Motors. Also 11,000, 2015 11,000 GVW flatbed dump truck. And then instead of a 2015, it's a new 2016 Ford F-350 for $54,793. That's option 2. I didn't see option 1 or the original. Any idea on this one?
I'm not really, like I say, I haven't read any of the
says total bid price, so it's 54,793, but, and then there's a price on the body here for 11,900. Then it has a breakdown on the plow and,
So is there 11,000 addition to the 54,
There
793?
must be a total on the back sheet.
okay, option one, outfit, this one will have to be ridden through, or have to be read. There's way too many options, way too many breakdowns to see.
But that one's for a Ford F-350 diesel,
Yeah.
four-wheel drive, cabin chassis.
Is this guy's,
I think we got one. We got
there's
60,
a tractor that
54,
attached to this also.
54, you got one less.
There is.
47, right?
I don't know, I didn't look
Am I
at this
doing that
graph
right?
stuff so
793,
back.
and then you got 54.5 for Dodge.
Oh, yeah, it was on the bottom, wasn't it?
So, it's coming together.
These are the only three bids we have?
No.
What's
Okay, I'm
this,
sorry.
That
Well-
one may, that one right there may just be the cab and chassis, I'm not sure.
This is the same dealership.
What is it, 60?
Which one, oh, is that the one you wanted to get one
It's the truck,
thrown out?
the body, and the warranty.
Yeah, well, he's actually sent three of them. So that's
First
one.
one.
I mean, the first one, he was just gonna bid on the cab and chassis,
Body.
and I said, well, I don't know if that's gonna work.
And this one here is a 54, 50.
So is this
Same.
current or is
54.
that fax current?
Yeah, which one?
That last one, the last one you just read was the current one. This is the first one, it probably just shows the cab and
This one's
chassis.
a little more clear, I guess. The cabin chassis is 37,943. So that 54
793,
must be complete with the whatever you specified.
Have to
for
read
the-
through it to make
Yeah.
sure, but
but that's the one you got in your hand, right?
Same dealership, two
What's the
different
pro-
envelopes.
Yeah, well, was one a fax and one looks like the original
Right.
sent to you.
Right.
So,
Okay.
so
The-
they're the same bid. It's just that he faxed one down ahead before he mailed the thing down by the looks.
you know, I spent a lot of time trying to make it all simple so that everybody could figure it out. And the last page, boom, go down through and put the bottom line number on there. And
It never happens.
It never happens.
But if you look at those two things, one's a fax and one isn't.
Right,
Right,
but
the
Casey's
first one was a
saying
fax.
the first one he wanted to
Yeah.
just
there was a
bid
note right on
the
the front.
cabin chassis.
Under that one right there, it says disregard the
Yeah,
last.
right,
Right,
right.
so-
Because this is the one with the options, and all
Right.
the other sort of
Well,
stuff, right?
which one do we
That's the
pull
one he
from the
wanted us
table?
to go off from. This is the first one he'd sent right there.
He wants this pulled.
He wants that one pulled.
Okay, he wants this one
'Cause
pulled.
that's just
already.
cabin chassis.
Got ya.
This one here.
Yeah, he called me 3 times in the last 2 days asking for information, what I needed, what I wanted, you know. I says, it's all right there in the spec except for the plow and the sander. He says, and so he says, well, I can do that too. I says, well, then
Go ahead.
put it on there. Yeah, I'd just like to look that one over. You got that?
Here. I know.
This is what you're putting in.
So you didn't
Just to
request
prove
a
it comes in
sander or a plow?
I did.
You did.
And I didn't on this right here. I gave them all option because not all of them will do that.
So you got it.
Because they just call the same vendors I would call to get one put in. It's just a slide-in sander is all it is. And actually, I do have,
I mean, one of these included a plow, I noticed.
yeah, 'cause that was the Stoneham Ford, I think.
See those?
Yeah, they have to be gone over very carefully.
Yeah.
Yep. But these are the sander quotes I got, so.
But these are the three truck bids we have.
Just 3, yeah. I was hoping on 2 other
Two
ones at
Dodge
least.
and,
Nothing.
two Dodge and a Ford.
Nothing
right?
from GM or local.
You
Nobody
did better
listens.
than I did. I got one price. This year.
Yeah, and I called the local dealer here in town there too. They evidently didn't wanna get involved or something, I don't know. Never called me back. Is that about the same price range though as,
That was the
What'd you
local
get?
Ford dealer that you called and they didn't call you
Yeah.
back?
well, I gave them all the information, sent them an email and all the specs and stuff. And, I never called.
Yeah, it'll be 5,000 additional for a sander. So average between those two.
That's just a slide-in sander, right? Or set on, or whatever you wanna call it, okay?
Yeah, about 2 yard
Yeah, right there.
Hydraulic,
hydraulic.
not gas motor.
Right.
So we would have to put how does that work? That has its own hydraulic.
Truck
pump.
will have the hydraulics right on it. And all the, and the sander controls inside the cab.
On the chassis. That's the body.
There, but balance,
It's the plow.
huh?
Of this year's budget.
As of July 1st, you'll have
Yeah, I understand.
Another,
65,000 there. It's got here's option 2.
What's your idea, Casey, to use this truck?
This truck right here will be used in North Pownal, the development, Upper Skippery, all them little back roads off from that. Just gonna use it for sand, no salt. Basically a plow truck, but a utility type truck also. You know, cutting brush or putting signs up. I mean, flatbed's gonna be nice standing on top of that on the signpost.
that would have a dump body on it.
Yep,
Stakes, probably.
big body up.
4-wheel drive with a sander, I would assume, would be
Yep.
pretty handy, a smaller truck to get around.
Yep. We've been using 3/4 ton pickups for quite a while, and they get around town, clean the intersections up, they do a good job, and you don't have to have a CDL driver to put one in either. Figure out the options on that, the option 1 and option 2 there.
Well, I think what he's talking about, when he talks about options, he's giving you options on the sander and the
Okay.
plow. Because if you look at them, they're a little different than what they are. Trouble is, option 1, it's 54,793, and on option 1, he's got them in reverse on the stapled together, 58,312.
That's what a sander or the plow?
And they're up to, by, both, what you wanna do is look at these, because both of these talk about, I highlighted where it is, you'll see the plow and the sander they talk about, and that's one option. This is the other option, where they talk about the hydraulics and the plow. So you see the two different things, and there might be something else added to the option 1 in addition, it brings it up a little higher. But basically, you're looking at those prices, which are,
Come on. What else we plan on buying?
Definitely,
15? Okay.
this is an option you gotta put on that with it,
My point is.
with that price.
you Buy the two items that we're going to be
Well,
looking
the
at.
total was how much?
We probably put it out.
Which one's that?
54.5 and 4,050.
Flat ass broke.
Yeah, 54.5. This
Yeah.
doesn't have the plow. The plow is 4,850. So if you added that together, what do you get?
yeah,
I mean, that's a sad,
59,350.
59,350. I'm just wanting apples to apples type stuff. We're gonna do them,
With the plow.
yeah, and if the other one's with the plows, which the one he's got over there looks like it is with plows, the Ford.
Doesn't specify which options go with option one and which option go with option two.
Well, I think the way he's got them stapled together, if you look at it.
Well, he's got option two before option one.
I think it's just the way it came off the fax and got stapled together.
what else you want. And we got two things we're gonna be talking about here in about 2 seconds.
he wants the tractor. And I think we should think about financing for years to try to get some of these vehicles back up to par. Not just pay for them in one fiscal year.
Yeah, we do that. We've done that with the graders and some of the others. You just.
Casey, how many payments do you say
What's
we
the
have
diff-
left on the
What's the
Backup's
difference?
got two more payments.
And that's fine.
You'll, about 20,000 on the back.
When you do budget, you're gonna take a look at 80 grand
Yeah, you did 60,000, 67.
over 5 years. You gotta figure out what's gonna, 80 gonna turn into what? That's all you have to do.
Right. I think we
So
financed
the Ford-
one truck for around 5 years.
The Ford,
I think it's
do they expect a plow?
8,000.
A year.
That's that one, right? Yes.
Yep.
That head plows.
And the plow was included in the 54,793.
We get more goodies than.
You gotta look at that, yeah. But I wanna say yes. But we'll have to verify that by reading it. These things.
That's annual for the replacement. This was what did the.
That's what it's for.
Yeah. How much is your backhoe payment, Casey? That's almost up.
And that's what it's been running every year, see?
Yeah,
14,000.
14,000. And you have how many payments?
Two more.
Annual payments.
Yep.
So 2 more years that'll be paid for.
That's all we owe money on.
It's definitely possible to, finance things out a little bit and
Yeah.
get stuff back.
Well, that's how the
The power.
grader came. You know what I'm saying? You know, over years, so I
Municipal.
mean, that's been twice that's happened, I believe, in it.
I think the interest rate.
Casey, you're going over the Ford bid right there?
Municipal.
Yeah,
truck,
Do
just
they,
wanted to
do they
see.
spec a plow on it?
2%, so.
There's one, plow option in here, I think, but it's on the, yeah, there's one on this one here.
How much was the plow option?
What was, that
Well, the
was
one
it?
with the plow is, 58,000.
That's with the plow.
This, no, I'm just reading through to make sure that, 'cause if we put it on his sheet and not my sheet, that's why it's hard to decipher exactly what, but it's hard for me to believe that just the truck cab and chassis is $58,000.
Right. Because that That thing Linda has there, the one that came in the manila envelope,
Well, they got,
that shows the truck cab and chassis like 37 from the same dealer, so.
but then they got don't they have a dump body on it? Flat? Dump? I think this one does.
Says, Fisher HP plow,
Minimum
I
of
think-
1,000 pound four-wheel flat bed.
I think we,
Dump?
yard stainless steel sander.
I better think we got better. I think we better talk about this at some other time. I think there's some things here
It
that,
really has to be
unless
done
you
over
people
with
got it figured out.
With a fine tooth
I
comb,
don't.
no.
But go ahead if you want.
And so,
I
and
mean,
somehow or another.
There's too many questions coming up here all
Do
the
a summary on each one of them.
We have a man waiting here.
Yeah,
Bid opening.
okay. What do you think?
Here's what I think. Casey, go over them, make the list of which each truck has, contact the individuals that bid to make sure you have everything included on those lists, and bring them back to us.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
Because we know what the bottom
Let's go
price
with it.
is.
That was the standards.
And to be aware, guys, because we read the bids off, people out there know, so when he comes back, we're not gonna,
There'd be no number changing anyway, but.
No.
that's right.
No, they either met your specs
Right.
or they didn't.
Right.
That's right.
So just come back with that information and then we'll know what we're buying.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's too many things we've been throwing around here for me to.
Well, some looks like it has a plow and one of them looks like it doesn't have a plow.
Yeah,
One had a sander,
One doesn't have a
and one
sander.
doesn't have a sander, right, so.
right. No, that's gonna take a little time to straighten
Yeah.
out that mess,
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
unfortunately.
call each one of,
Well, you call them or see them or whatever, or have them come and see you or whatever and sit down and fine tooth
Well,
comb this thing.
the ones that are done in my letterheads are easy to figure out. They
Okay.
list everything right down through exactly what's there,
Okay.
what's gonna,
yep.
it meets or exceeds the standards that.
That you wanted.
Specs.
Okay.
But the,
But only one does out of three.
Only one doesn't.
Unfortunate, but.
that's probably the highest priced one, I'm not gonna say that, but.
Well, might be the better.
Okay, we have 4 tractor bids. First one is from JC Tractor. You want me to read the prices?
I would not read the price at this time in case we get into this.
Same problem.
Yeah. No, but you can tell us what the specs are and who they are, I think it's fine. And pass it down and we'll write the price down.
JC Tractor hereby proposes to supply to the town of Pownal, Vermont, one new Branson 4520C cab tractor with a sweepster rotary broom as detailed below. Branson 4520C cab tractor equipped with 47 horsepower, Tier 4 compliant, 4-cylinder diesel engine. Heat, AC, AM, FM, weather band radio, front wiper, rear wiper kit, 2 sets of hydraulic remotes, dual hydraulic pumps, wet disc brakes, 12-speed manual transmission and shuttle shift, synchro on shuttle, and 4-speed shifter. Industrial tires, rear tires filled with ballast star, block heater installed, third function valve installed. This quote includes a quick detach BL25R loader, rotary broom, fitting and removal. Delivery included, 4-year warranty, 31. Then it has Sweepster AH 84-inch rotary broom skid steer mount attached to the loader, quick attach, with complete hydraulic package, pump hoses, controls, 32-inch diameter broom with hydraulic angling. And then there's a price on that. Labor to fit rotary broom to tractor and test. There's a price for that, and then there's a total package price.
Okay.
The second bidder, Ably Tractor.
Wait, let me see that just a second. I'll send it right back.
This is a Massey Ferguson, 1535, I believe. No, it's a Massey Ferguson 1742. 12 by 12 power shuttle transmission, second lever kit, second hydraulic outlet, mid PTO kit, industrial tires, and the prices with a 72-inch front mount broom additional.
No loader.
It doesn't show one that I'm seeing.
No, there's no loader, cause, it didn't spec a loader, but he could not mount a broom to the front of that tractor without a loader.
Okay.
So he spec'd the loader in there.
So there is a loader in it?
And no, not
No,
on
the
that
first
one.
one.
The first one.
Just the
How
first.
many horsepower is this one? Does it say anything
Doesn't
about-
say. I read what the.
Okay.
I got the
Provided.
specifications, plus the specifications are right there.
It should be in that book.
It's over 40.
Okay. Our spec was over 40 horse.
40 horse or above.
Okay, the third bidder was Capital Tractor. Is that a Mahindra?
Mahindra.
It's tough to read this, but it looks like it's either a 3640 or a 3540.
3540.
3540. Four-wheel drive, PST cab tractor. Includes a 5-year warranty. Liquid ballast and rear tires. 2 double-acting rear hydraulic remotes. It's got a 72-inch broom, additional. It's got powered by tractor hydraulics, hydraulic lift, manual angle. All those things are all additionally priced. There's a description on the motor. It's 40 horse. I don't believe this one has a loader either.
No loader. Like I said, that was the only one that had a loader because they
Do they
couldn't.
spec a broom with it?
Yeah, there's an additional price for
Okay.
the broom, yes.
Yeah, right there. All right. Where's there? Right there. Ain't that broom? Yeah, sweeper.
Okay.
Fourth bidder is Salem Farm
Oh,
Supply.
that's up. Wait a minute, which one? Yes, that's it. I got the right one, didn't I? Yeah, this goes with it. This goes with that.
Okay, this is Salem Farm Supply address. Getting one new Kubota Grand L4060 HSTC tractor. 40 horsepower, 4-wheel drive, factory air conditioned, cab heat and filtered air cab. Hydrostatic transmission with 3 ranges, 2-speed power shift, stall guard, auto throttle and cruise control, tier 4 final with common rail direct interjection, PDF and EGR, 4-cylinder Kubota, dual air cleaner, power steering, 2 pedals, loaded rear tires, industrial tires. Plus front joystick loader valve with 2 functions for operating front sweeper, front headlights, signals, flashers, and 4 cab working lights. 6-foot power angle Kubota front mounted sweeper with hydraulic lift and all mounts, controls, and attachments. Tractor has a Kubota warranty as follows. Tractor has 1,500 hours, 2-year warranty. Engine and drivetrain has 2,000 hours, 3-year warranty. Sweeper has 1-year warranty. Option listed below for extra 2-year warranty requested 500 hours per year of use might justify purchasing an extended warranty. Bid price form, Salem Farm Supply. It gets a price, warranty, optional, and it gives a price for the optional 2 years.
No loader on that one, right?
Correct. It's plumbed, but I assume, but for the sweeper. This is the only one I've noticed, not that the rest don't, but this just jumped out at me. This does have the Tier 4 final, which is the last emissions motor. It's the one that satisfies the government's emissions.
You fellas had any questions, that's the only reason I'm here.
Okay.
So a full spec sheet behind it, the ones on the bid just answer the questions we had.
Let me ask you a question. Does this have a cab?
Yes,
They all have
sir.
tractor.
STC means it's a hydrostatic cab tractor, but it's a factory cab that comes on the tractor, it's not an add-on. A sweeper filter there would be must, this has that, as well as heat and air conditioning, and it's not a removable cab, you don't take the doors off in the summer or whatever.
My tin car, what that one is, 39.
Thank you.
It is a PTO driven sweeper. Couple of the ones that you mentioned were hydraulic driven, and
Yep.
this size tractor with the hydraulics capable, this is a PTO driven sweeper that you have full engine horsepower available.
I think the price is complete with the sweeper.
That was the bottom.
His request was for a 5-year warranty, that's why I listed that.
The additional two. Yeah.
It's not, I mean, I listed it as a 5-year warranty extension, but it's very.
You can
unusual.
purchase more,
God damn it. You either buy
warranty?
a basket-
You can purchase, the quote has an extra price for 2 more years of warranty,
oh,
which if you put 1,000 hours a year on it, you ought to have.
yeah,
You don't,
we do all of that.
I don't like that.
but you requested it in your bid at 5, so that's why I put it in separate.
I don't like buying it.
It makes sense. I definitely do.
Warranty the whole.
I'm talking about it, that's all I'm talking about.
Yeah, I definitely want. Casey, what sweeping what do you sweep with now or you don't? Hand? By hand?
We don't have the hand yet. That and the main reason why we're looking for a room is because there's a lot of shoulders. There's been years and years and years of growth and leaves and stuff piled on the shoulders of these roads, and it's hard to pull that stuff in with the grader. A lot of that stuff we can sweep off so that that shoulder material is actually reusable. You know, once we get rid of all the twigs and the leaves, and it's just we're gonna try to do that anyway. We'll see how it works. But I guess the most important reason why we need to replace the tractor is because there's no cab. Take these hot days like we had there last week, dust cloud just follows the rake. And that guy's in that stuff constantly.
Now, does your new backhoe, is that an IT machine where you can put a broom
No.
on that? It isn't. I guess my only problem
Where'd I put
with the
other ones?
tractor
What?
Where'd I put the other ones?
is a lot of towns don't even rake after the grader. And if you do rake, a lot of towns that do rake seem to use a pickup truck. So the sweeper definitely makes sense to get the stuff you don't want in the road out of the road before you grade to save the gravel that's on the shoulder. That definitely makes sense to me.
And the worst part is it's everything's, you got trees along, mailboxes and everything, so you're going in and out and in and out, and it'd be kind of tough to do it with anything else, I don't think. And, I don't know. I mean, what other,
I was under the impression originally that the broom was for sweeping our intersections.
well, that too. I mean,
That was our primary concern,
well,
Put it out here, everywhere where you go.
especially where the dirt roads meet the blacktop.
right, right.
The springtime, that was the important thing. That
I
was.
mean, you
that
go
was
around the hill,
understanding I had.
by Carpenter Hill and here in North Pownal, that's just.
So we definitely need a broom, just an avenue of what's gonna push it around.
Yep. Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. The tractor we have right now, the mower, the boom mower, the sidearm mower, whatever you call it, the roadside mower right now. When does he start? Has he already started or no?
Not yet.
So-
Grass at my house only like that high.
So we have a period of time where that tractor's not being used.
Yeah, but, it's a,
My thing is, could we put a 3-point hitch broom on that and use that in the spring when the tractor's not being used and clean up intersections then?
Or front,
yeah, well. you
or
probably-
front, for the broom, we're only, just for broom.
Well, this still
know what it's
doesn't get us out of the dust issue with the tractor, and I have seen people use pickups for raking the road, but when you got a lot of miles like we've got, it'd be tough to do, I think, with a pickup. I think the rake that we've got actually works pretty good. It's got hydraulic controls on it, you can feather it, and I don't know, I think that's
I think Shasberry has as many miles.
they
right,
do,
as Pownal.
same as we got.
They don't do it with a tractor.
They got the same rake we got.
But what do they pull it with?
I have no idea.
They got 1 ton.
I pass them all the time.
Yeah, it seems so. but-
Right. Let me ask you a question. What's the objective of raking it after they grade it?
Rakes the rocks off it, and you can feather it with the grader, and what he tries to do is get as much crown in the road as possible.
Okay.
So his last pass is usually flat across the top, and it puts both ends of the furrow into the wheel ruts. And the rake he rakes it to the center, and he rakes it back, all the rocks off. It's like raking your lawn or whatever. Does a pretty nice job. I mean, you drive around our back roads all the time, you see, I mean,
I was surprised to see that other operations they don't rake. Other towns and other operations they don't. There's just a few that actually rake.
we've always raked here, ain't they, Henry?
They've always had a rake. A lot of different things have happened. We had a grader operator here that hooked a rake behind the grader.
Yeah.
Okay, but don't forget that was a man that grabbed a hold of the rake, if you recall. Believe it or not, turned it around by hand, hooked it back up, went down the road. Am I correct or not?
I saw, yeah, and I think it was White Creek.
Okay.
They had a actual plow hitch mounted to the back of the grader.
Yep.
That when they hooked up the rake, they picked the rake up, turned around, and then
And spun it around. That's right.
And I've seen a
So I mean,
rake.
there's a lot of things a
but
person, people
you're
do.
making,
But I'm just saying.
you're making 4 passes with the rake, and that's
Yeah.
kind of, is you wear your grader out to do that? I mean,
Yeah,
4 extra passes.
Yeah, the grader could be grading something
Yeah.
else instead of.
Well,
How fuel efficient are these tractors? I mean, is it a gallon an hour or half a gallon an hour? I mean, it's not really that. I mean, they
but they
use
don't
little
talk
or no
much
fuel.
around.
It's just a 40 grain that
Right.
to rake a road.
And,
But it's an investment
talking
over a
about
period
beyond
of
that, maybe.
30, 35, 40 years,
Yeah.
however, as well as you take care of it.
I
Well,
wish you, I just to clear my head, I wish you had something else you could, like, the broom totally makes a lot of sense to me. It really does. I wish there was something else, another attachment or something that you've been living without that you could put on the tractor to just justify 40 grand better for me, my own opinion.
I'll tell you another thing too, is that 65 horse case that we bought was about $12,000 less than this one here. Because you're in that 40 homeowners type tractor, and
Yep.
that's what's selling,
With the mower on it?
with the mower.
Oh, okay.
Paul's got one of those.
Tractor
Actually, we
itself.
paid almost
Macy Ferguson.
the same with the mower and the tractor is what that right there is.
That tractor was a basic work tractor.
Right.
That, you know, light duty farm tractor type thing, but
I
no
wouldn't buy
frills
a
at
boat
all.
yours, Paul.
When you get a factory cab, hydrostatic transmission that you absolutely need for this job, this is the Cadillac of little tractors, but that's the way they come. They
Yeah.
don't, you don't get a 3-speed standard in a Caddy, you know?
Right.
The hydrostatic transmission that's in this is far above that synchro shuttle I heard somebody talk about and like that, but that's the only way this nice cab comes, and the cab is a function of this sweeper. If anybody in this room's gonna operate it, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, and
You
like I
got
say,
that.
that's what we're trying to get away from is,
I got a suggestion about
Okay.
this. We're back to a debate.
right,
You know, am I right? We're back to a question, not a debate, it's a question.
I'm listening and
All right,
I'm
okay,
waiting to see
fine.
where you're going.
All right, and where I'm going is, listen, what we said is we're talking about raking, should you rake, shouldn't you rake? I really think that a few of us, or all of us, can get together and let's go take a look at the rating job and spell out to us what we really should do. I'm not gonna say not to buy it, I'm not gonna tell you to buy it at this particular time. I'm gonna say, hey, listen, let's satisfy the people that have to vote on spending the money.
I've gone just this week. Was it this week or last week? But I went down your road, Ladd Road, Schoolhouse Road, and a couple others, and I'll tell you, they look damn good. I like the way it came out with the rake and the rest. Because I'll tell you, when I've gone out there before, blah, 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 and all the other you do on it. So, and I don't know, I looked like the stones were raked off good to me. Because I can remember when the stones used to be on the roads, and we used to get people coming in here asking about windshields.
Well,
So I think it makes sense to keep them pretty clean. I'd rather do that than pay for windshields all the time. But the other one that's been using this rake process, what happens if you don't use a rake? What do you think is going to be our problem?
well, I don't think you're gonna have as smooth as a road surface. I think you're gonna find that when he takes that last pass and leaves that lip of stuff, that's gonna have that lip effect once the car's pounded down. Can he make a couple more passes to get rid of that? Maybe he can, but you're still gonna have some rocks that, don't get pounded into the road surface, and then you get one kicked up, and once it rains, there's a pothole starts. And
That's
so
what
I mean, there's a lot, 10 to 1 dozen the other, I mean, and how you do it.
Right. And
no, I'm gonna talk about, why the roads look good. Whatever hasn't blowed off, hasn't had enough rain to wash the ditch out. Now that is the answer. I just wanna make that clear.
I know
Now,
there's
that's my
been no
personal
rain.
opinion, okay?
now
there was a little dust out there.
Okay.
the other thing for discussion too is that normally we grade all our roads in the spring.
And twice a year, sometimes
The
some
fall.
roads get 3.
Could the tractor we have right now, the cab tractor we have right now, could that be used right now to be pulling the rake?
Could be used to be pulling the rake. Yeah, up till about another week.
Okay. But when will he be done with all the roads?
Well,
They
right
should-
now, we've had a
Never.
long stretch of dry weather.
That's right.
Good weather.
If we'd had
Great.
the May that we would usually have with the amount of rain,
And the
we
mud.
wouldn't have had half as done what he's got right now.
Okay.
So in that way, every year it would change. So when you get a lot of rain, the growth starts. Last year, I'm sure he was already mowing before now. So, and he mows all summer long.
Right. Right. I'm just trying to think of a way to
Right,
that we
justify
can
the cost. I
that
can
that
understand.
tractor that's only used for that
Right.
period of time. If it's not being used now, could it be being used in the spring?
Oh,
The rake
okay.
tractor gets used about 3 to 4 hours a day regularly. If I had something with a broom on it, it would probably get used all of 7 every day that we grade. And even the days that he wasn't grading, we could still, in an enclosed cab when it's raining, he could still brush the shoulders.
So your plans are to have him push the shoulders off with a broom and then rake.
And then rake.
Same. But doesn't that guy usually haul the gravel to the grader?
Does, but I've got another guy too, and like I say, I can always come across a part-time guy. Usually, 9 times out of 10, I can find somebody.
Okay, I'm totally agree with Henry. I'm totally prove it to me. I'm on the fence right now.
Okay.
You prove it to me that it's a good idea to spend the money and it's going to last us a long time. You know.
Well, even if we decide not to use the rake, then we don't have to worry about a cab tractor being in the dust, and on and on and on. But you still have to have a cab tractor to brush the shoulders off if we decide to go that route.
Oh, I realize.
And if you want to mount one on the front of the other tractor, then you're only going to have that use of that late fall before it starts snowing, and up till 2 months in the spring. Brush your shoulders. I believe that it's depending on what avenue you want to go. If you want to continue on the rake, we need to find some sort of air quality area to be in when you're pulling it, or brushing the whatever.
You mean if we use the existing rake?
That's right.
Right.
Because you can't continue
Right.
to be out in that silt. And
I think what the bottom line
Neither
is,
can
we're
I.
either going to
Right.
buy the new tractor or
Neither-
we're going to stop raking.
Neither can I.
That's what it comes down to, I think.
Well,
What do you wanna do, guys?
you don't have to do nothing on this right here tonight. For the simple reason is it was put out to bid, but it wasn't actually. Okay.
Casey, I think that, listen, I think that we've gotta, make, a decision on whether or not we wanna, have a broom and how we wanna do it. And if it's a tractor we need, but at the same time, if we are really, I mean, I don't know anything about the broom, I don't know anything about it, so I'm just talking. But, I'm just not sure that, if the size that we're talking is the right size for the town to invest into. I think that we need to sweep up our corners more than we have in the past, for sure. I think that you talked about, side the roads, no question. I'm just not sure that with the amount of work that you're gonna look at, with the size that we're trying to buy, we may be undersizing ourselves, maybe.
Let me-
Maybe. I don't wanna,
Let me-
listen, it's your business. It's,
You know tractors better than I.
well, I don't know if I do.
Here's where I'm at. You're talking 20 to 30 years use out of whatever we buy because of the amount of money we're in it. What's the difference, I would ask, to answer your question, in the cost of getting a larger one than it is getting this one?
That's, okay, well, and that's
Then-
why I'm
then
talking,
I'm willing-
I want us to
I
talk
hear,
about
I
that.
hear everybody sort of say, let's do the brooming. Okay, I think we're sold on that one. The real question comes is the brooming and the raking on behind the grader when it does its job. I don't know. I've been sold on that ever since we started doing that. The real thing that I'm concerned with is what you said. I want to make sure whatever piece of equipment we buy is large enough that it's going to last that 20 or 30 years if it's maintained. Come on, we've been doing that now for a few years, and we've been buying things, and we're really getting 15, 20 years. And if we can continue doing that, or if we buy something, I heard the person say, this is what they buy now for families buy and so forth, my son-in-law has one, and so forth, and I know Carl has, and those guys work around their house, but they are not pushing it like the town's gonna push it. Come on, this is like being in the construction business. You got your vehicle out there and you're
There's a
using
lot of
it
40
hard.
horsepower tractors out there and homeowners.
That's right,
And we're talking about putting something to work.
that's
Well,
right.
I'm a little questionable on it, and I don't wanna say that you picked the wrong one, because now I'm going against your plan. You follow me, Casey?
I tell
So
you the
I
reason
don't
why I
wanna
went with
go
a
there.
40 horse tractor is because one, fuel consumption, two, you can turn it right around in the middle of a 20-foot wide road. And that's what we do basically with the one that we've got. So he can go up this road and turn it around instead of pulling in somebody's driveway or going to the next.
How many horsepower is the one you got?
36.
You've been using it for a
Yeah.
very long time.
But the broom, I think, would take the most power right around.
Yeah, yeah,
Say 7
and you would
foot?
maybe get a bigger broom.
7 foot.
I think that.
Is
it'd
that
be a
plenty of
very few
power,
dollar
George, to run a
difference.
7-foot
Now's
broom?
the time to
You
talk about
expect a
it.
6-foot broom.
Oh, okay, well, 6-foot broom?
The key with the broom is it's either PTO driven
PTO
or
or
hydraulic driven.
Yeah.
One of your quotes I heard was running hydraulic driven off a tractor that maybe has 10 gallon a minute. That's not gonna cut it for you guys.
Yep.
PTO driven, I mean, you're using all 40 horsepower and
Yeah,
whatnot. which
right
is
in the
what
PTO.
The front mounted units are if they're not mounted on the loader, which is what I spec'd. The key is if you get too big, you're not gonna have it on the front. So the smaller tractor is much more maneuverable. One of the things you guys asked, is a bigger tractor more money?
Divide
No.
that.
It doesn't, but it's a different thing. That isn't what you spec'd out. It's a different
Right.
tractor.
Right, we realize that, but, so you didn't really answer my question. If you get a bunch of 4-foot wet leaves, a foot deep, will the 6-foot,
Your
is
broom
this
and
tractor
that-
big enough, 40 horse, big enough to,
your
blow
broom
the
and a
leaves
window
off
of
the-
leaves?
Yeah.
That wouldn't be the common usage for that. That would be more like, bucket loader or whatever. This is a 22-inch broom, that's 6 foot wide and whatnot, and typically you're brooming, asphalt and things of that nature. You could actually sweep 6 inches of snow with it. But this isn't, this will go through there and whatnot, but it isn't necessarily for, 4 foot deep of leaves.
do they make a broom that will?
If you're talking a 4 foot deep of leaves, I would think you'd want to have at least larger than 4 foot diameter, and brooms are typically 30 or 22. The ones you see on the front of dump trucks are 30 inch. I don't know if that's you're surprising me with the leaf thing there.
Well, I didn't hear about it until tonight. That's what Casey plans on doing, getting all the stuff you don't want graded back into
Yeah,
the
I mean-
road, off the road.
So like leaves that are on the side of the road and stuff. That's 4 foot deep though?
No, I said a 4-foot wide strip.
Oh,
a
wide,
foot
yeah, no
deep.
problem with width. I was worried about the depth that you were
No,
talking.
no, it's just whatever leaves build up on the side of the road, the stuff you don't want to grade back into the road.
That would kick them off to the side.
Wet leaves, no problem.
You would do it with 6 inches of wet snow. In Manchester, they're doing that. Yeah, apparently that works.
That would be my only concern on horsepower, is not to have enough horsepower to spin the broom enough to,
I guess,
If it's mechanically driven, I don't think you have any horsepower issues.
I guess my question would be, versus this 40 horse tractor, what range of horsepower do you start getting into money that's close to these figures? Farm tractor style tractor.
If you went to.
With a cab.
The smallest M series, farm type tractor above 50 horsepower, it generally is a different chassis. The smallest one of those with a cab on it wouldn't be $5,000 more than what we're talking. It might not be even that much. It's a different tractor
and a broom would fit on that.
on the back. See, you've lost your front PTO
PTO,
stuff at that
yeah.
point. We're not talking about something, see, this is the same setup that runs a front snow blower or front, that sort of stuff. That's homeowner stuff.
Right.
Or it's real industrial stuff, like on your boom tractor or whatever, which has a big hydraulic system anyways on it. But that's expensive.
A
Now,
50
on the
horse
back, you
tractor?
can do that. One guy had a sweepster broom there. I mean, those are commonly done on the back, and those are quite cost effective because they build a lot of them, they fit everybody. But now you're backing up.
Yeah,
Big
right.
Deal.
That'd make a long day. I
And
think I'd
also
rather be
that
an
stuff's
open
even closer to the
cab tractor,
cab.
sucking dust.
Most of the
Backing
cab
up.
air inlets are in the back
I
up
know.
at the top.
I'm not gonna buy one because of that, like a little bit of dust and nothing.
Yeah.
I hate the dust from the,
Okay.
Maneuverability is what
I think-
this is about, and front-mounted powered attachments.
that's up to you guys. I'm not.
You still have a lot of capability to do other things with it later on. I heard some lady asking about mowing a ball field. I don't know if you guys do that or not,
No, that's all contracted out, that stuff.
but that's
It's options.
his job.
It's options.
So, I guess what I'm asking is, you start getting into 50 horse, 55 horse range.
60
It's a
horse.
$5,000 more for a regular farm tractor.
I think I could do it. Most manufacturers maybe could do. I'm pretty sure I could do, most manufacturers probably could do a 60 horsepower cab tractor for not a lot more money. I might even be high on that $5,000 bet.
That's why, like I say, we paid, I think it was, $26,000 for that 65 horse.
There again, that one is up quite a bit for the time you bought it till now.
Oh, yes.
Oh, darn
yes.
right. That iron was
You're
gone.
absolutely right.
Hey,
You
I'm just
can
trying
buy
to sell
more
stuff here
tractor
for you,
the
so.
same money. You can spend more on a little sports car than you can on a 3/4 ton four-wheel pickup. You know, that's,
You wanna,
this is a very
you wanna
nice
talk about,
tractor.
or think about this and talk about it a little bit?
We can do that at a later date.
You have a problem with that, Casey?
I got no problem with
I
that.
think Casey would rather, at this point, probably even
Glad to give you more information that it ought to be accurate, so.
readdress this.
Okay, and then we'll address it at a later, I don't care, and then next week,
Very
I
well,
don't
that's
care.
a good idea.
Huh?
I think that's a good idea.
Get-
Aye.
Let him
Mull through what those.
maul
scare-
through this whole thing, do the
Now,
same
you-
thing. 'Cause
you've
I'm
heard a
not going
couple
up
of-
Against him on,
Yep.
Well, I agree with that for a little different reason, which
Well-
from what I just heard with the hydraulics and the other stuff, you know.
There's some
you-
questions.
You need to really look at these bids if this is where we're gonna go and tell us why we should take one that's higher or lower or whatever.
Yeah.
Versus us just coming in here and say, well, here's the low bid, we're gonna take it, then find
Yeah.
out it's not gonna do the job.
yeah. I am concerned about that part. Because
What I just
you're
heard-
talking about the 10-year span. I'm not gonna go way out. I wanna go 10 years.
At least.
That tractor should last the town 10 years, I mean, am I correct?
15, 20.
Okay, well, it
Still have
could,
some-
yes.
Still have some very good resale.
Everything else we've had here so far has gone 20 or close, so, but I don't wanna go too far out.
Whether they wanted to or not.
Okay, but I mean, if we can go into that, I know that if we look into the future, the demand is gonna be more on equipment today than what it is in the future than what it is today. That's a proven fact. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
take a look at the grader the town of Pownal owns today compared to what they had 20 years back.
Oh, yeah.
So, we're talking the same thing, so,
Isn't gonna get any better.
I,
that's right.
so you got a couple of chores to do there with those different
But
bids. All right, moving on. Thanks,
Very good.
Casey. I think we've covered everything for you, Casey, so you're able to scoot if
Thank
you
you much,
wish.
Hey, thank you.
You guys are
Come
doing
on.
a good job, and I town councilman myself. Not everybody runs quite this professionally.
Well, okay.
Bid openings where it was like, yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
have a good night.
Thank you. Very helpful. Okay. Review and discuss. Has everybody had a chance to look at this contract? For the sheriff? You can stay if you wish, Casey.
Those are copies, these are the actual contracts.
Oh, okay, oh,
One of them's the actual or all?
These are both actuals, one's until
Okay, these are
July
copies.
1st, the other one's
Okay.
after July
Got it.
1st.
Okay.
So basically, we fill in the hours.
When you say until July 1st this year, or?
There'll be one to finish off this fiscal year, and the other one is for July 1st through next year.
For future, okay. One is to
Next.
finish up, right?
This budget we're in right now, the other one is for the next budget.
Okay.
Okay.
And I assume we have to agree on how many hours we want. Blank spot.
That's right. We have a breakdown here from the treasurer on what's available left for money of this year, and of this budget we're in right now, and then we have a breakdown of the next budget.
Yeah, you all should have a copy of what the actual money is that we have. I think it was not as much as what the sheriff had thought when he was here. It's less money. So you need to take a good look at that. Okay, so what do we got? 6 weeks left? Is that what was said?
Yes.
And the rate is what, 30 an hour?
$30 an hour is the contract price. Yeah, I know. Right now, what we have to use, work with, right? I did meet with him this week. They're flexible as to however we want to set up a shift schedule, or whether we want to do 4-hour shifts, 8-hour shifts, however we want to break it up. We're willing to provide a monthly breakdown report as to what they're doing each month, and then quarterly they would have a supervisor come in and speak with us. Answer any questions. Their contact person would be a local resident, lives right here in town. Supervisor.
So you did the math for the money that we have left? Is that what you're saying? And came up with a number of hours?
We haven't yet. We haven't come up with a number of hours.
I'm just thinking to the end of this year,
That's what it comes.
That's right,
up at.
per week, right?
Yeah.
which is not necessary.
No. God no.
So I would, what were you guys talking per hours per week?
They talked like 30. Am I correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's what we're talking about.
Okay,
Well, first it was 32, then we hammered out 30, I guess.
Those,
30.2.
right.
Okay, oh, something, okay.
but you were doing that with a budget that was 40-some thousand, when the
Right.
budget really is only
Right, we didn't have the right numbers.
Right.
26,800? So you need to do whatever that math is for 26,800 to see what it would be for hours
For next year.
for the next year. You gotta take, basically you're looking at next year's budget. What was
Well,
budget was 31,800. You gotta take 5,000 away from that because it's a fund that the voters vote for, and you can't spend funds only on what the funds were voted for. Your treasurer gives you a slip showing you that, which basically leaves you with $26,800 budget for constable for next year. Or whatever law enforcement you want.
Okay, that's it.
So what does that break down?
Where'd you come out with that, where'd you come out with that dollar?
Ellen came out with that dollar.
Yeah, I know,
Which we have to
no,
work with
She
next
reminded
year.
us that we can't spend money that's in a fund.
because that was not, designated money.
That's right, by the
Correct.
voters
So basically, that breaks down to 17 hours
a week.
a week for next year.
Again, you got some contingency. I guess I would look at 20 hours and see how it goes. Is what I would recommend
For next year.
for next year.
Okay.
And I would do that this year, starting right now.
Okay.
I wouldn't try to say, here, you're gonna do this, then you're gonna do that. I would say, give them 20 hours a week, let's see how it goes.
Okay.
If it doesn't work because we have major crime and they gotta come a lot, then we need to up it.
What do we,
say-
what do we have to deal with right now?
As far as what?
Is there two contracts sitting in front of us?
There is.
Yes.
One is for this budget that we're in right now to
That's
finish
the
off
last
No.
6 weeks.
Okay.
6 weeks.
Okay. No, that's not much time, you know.
That's right.
But is there a problem for us to,
Do the one contract,
do the one contract and,
wait until the first year?
yeah.
Or the first, or,
Well, I don't know if you have to wait till but let's just see how that goes. I mean, seriously, God, it would
Before
work.
we-
It's only 6 weeks though, right?
I understand.
Okay.
I understand that.
But is that-
And
but my
I'm not
my
saying
fe-
that we're not going
My
to do it.
feeling is,
Could be
my
during the
feeling
hot
was
time, you'll
6
know.
weeks isn't enough time to find out how well it's gonna
Well,
work.
at least people are gonna see it around and we'll get some feedback if it's, you'll get feedback. And people are gonna say, hey,
let me tell you where I'm at with this, only because, and you've been here too.
I want.
We have tried to put the sheriffs in the town working at least 2 times I can think of, and both times it was voted down by the people.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm not looking to go out super long time. I agree with you though, I don't think 6 weeks is enough. I have no trouble with doing this for a year to see what happens, so the people know, and we know,
Okay.
but I want us to put it up for a vote when it comes around March. We'll have them here, but it has options. See how they've liked them. We can say how we like them, but then we get it from the people that we want to get it from.
That's why we're here.
Right, and a couple things you have to look at too. These votes, if we had, whether we wanted sheriffs or not, they were some years ago. Times have changed, okay?
That's right.
We all know that.
Yep.
And the way I understood it was the last vote was whether we wanted to hire the sheriff or we wanted to hire a constable. And we chose a constable.
That's the last vote.
That's right. So to me, that's not necessarily, we didn't want to hire the sheriff's department at that point. I
Yep.
mean, we had an option to have a constable here.
Right.
We don't anymore.
Right.
Okay.
And now we only want a part-time one.
Well, but on top of
Right.
it,
You're talking, but you're not comparing apples
Oh,
to
no,
apples
absolutely
either
not. No, I know.
as to what you're getting for your money.
and who knows? We say there's no constable, nobody out there right now to be a constable, but you don't know what could come here in a year. There could be some retired police officer all of a sudden
Of
that
course.
decides to want to be our constable.
I'm sure of it. There's no
Yet,
question.
We don't know, but, and I don't have any trouble with, come on, I'm the guy that stood up there and had to defend to try to get the sheriffs voted in the last time. You know, so I don't have any trouble with the sheriff doing it. I think they do an excellent job. The question we have to ask ourselves is, and I think we're doing the right thing, we're making the decision as the legislative body, we've been kicked before. I think we should go ahead, approve both these contracts for limited hours, and we can increase those hours. But let's test it, let's see what the people say to us, and then we can, next year it means we gotta go to 30 hours, we'll go to 30 hours.
Sure. But I think another thing you have to take into consideration too is, I mean, obviously some of your feedback is gonna be negative.
Oh,
Of course.
Because,
You
I
stopped
mean,
me.
someone, obviously there are gonna be people that aren't, abiding by the law are gonna get ticketed now. I mean, where,
Absolutely, and you'll find that all the time. Just another thought is, we have money in this fiscal year budget for 6 weeks. Should we give them a few more hours now, just so they can see where the problems are in town, and then the next year's contract go to 20, just so they can get their foot in the door and find out?
I have no trouble, I'd throw another 5 at them.
Yeah.
so
What to look
I'll
for.
make the motion, that we finish off this year at 25 hours a week.
Second.
Any further discussion?
Nope, that's-
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Okay, you want me to sign this too, huh? Okay, and has everybody had a chance to read the contract?
Yes.
Yes, in that contract, it says that there is a possibility that we may get some other bills.
I saw
I
that.
caught that.
I caught that, and I also saw a possibility where we can, get out of this.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, both parties can.
Okay, so this is the one from May 18th through June 30th. And it's
Correct.
25 hours a week. And you guys just voted on 25 hours per week, but I'm gonna have you vote now for me to sign this contract between the sheriff department and the town of Pownal.
So moved.
So,
Agree.
yeah.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Now, who's gonna set up their schedule on exactly when they're
I'm
gonna
going
patrol? Okay.
I like that approach, that we, put
Somebody should be aware of.
the point.
We have,
hours that
we
they-
have some ideas right now by
Yeah.
letters and complaints as to,
Yeah.
Yep.
and then again, we'd be open if there's any concerns. Hopefully they'd want to come through our board and then
Yep.
they would,
And
and we
we'll
would
see,
take care of dealing with him.
and we'll see the reports, and if we feel there should be something different as a board, we can deal with it.
Correct.
Okay. Now, for next year, and we can change this, we can always open up and renegotiate, but at this point,
20 hours a week, I'm sorry, is, what's that, how many hours is that? In the year?
Year? 52, but
52, right. Times, how much an hour, 30? What's that budget now?
31,226.8.
For 15. 16, 15.
yeah, so,
Well, 15 and 16 is the way you have to say that.
so we'll be 3,200,
Next budget.
so we'll be $3,200
We're voting
over,
on next budget now, right?
which will be 32, about 10% over our budget.
Okay,
Okay?
yep, okay,
So you're moving to make it 20?
yeah.
Get a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor of 20 hours, say aye.
Yeah.
Aye.
And like before, I'll
And we
take,
will, in our next, budget, our next, election.
we'll ask the voters, but we're gonna budget for this too coming.
Yeah, that's,
December.
I understand. But, because by then, we should have plenty of information.
That's what I'm thinking, and then we can
Okay,
budget,
And I agree.
and
Okay,
we can
very
budget
good,
accordingly and
Very good.
go from there.
Yes.
Okay, motion to sign this
So moved.
Second.
contract between the sheriff and us for next year.
Good.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
So the other issue, the other two issues on the treasurer's report, one was the police liability insurance. Has that been,
No one told me to take that off,
okay?
not knowing what.
So it's still there.
Everybody was going to do.
So then I recommend that we remove that if we no longer have a
That's
constable.
I
correct.
second that.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
And then the other issue was the police fund. We just probably want to keep that in our thoughts,
Well,
in our next
here's-
budget meeting,
Yeah,
as to
that-
what we're gonna do.
Well,
with that.
there's a number of things, Linda, I know we just moved to take the insurance off, meaning both the liability insurance plus the health insurance, is that what you're referring to? So that they're both gone? Mm-hmm. Okay, because I know she talked about the liability, but health
Okay, health
insurance.
insurance.
But when we said insurance, we want to remove both.
Health insurance was removed when Albert
Left.
left us.
Terrific.
I just know it shows up on the budget.
Okay.
Okay. Any other thing there that we should be aware of that's not being met?
Workman's compensation insurance, all that stuff's gone too,
All
right?
that gone, yeah.
What did you decide to do with the vehicle? Because it's insured.
We haven't
The
just,
I would recommend that we take the insurance off of it. We're not using it anymore.
let me
And
do,
let me just finish, and I did speak with the sheriff, he was gonna go over and take a look at it. I went over, looked at it with Casey. It's, you know, it's an '02 vehicle with a lot of miles on it. The equipment we have is very old. The sheriff is gonna give us an idea, you know, what he'd pay,
What
what
kind
he,
of value do you think?
if it any has a value to him.
Well,
I have another, Casey, how many times do you have to drive people around to look at land and property in town?
Listers use the truck at the occasionally, 4, 5, 6 times a year. In mud season and places that are.
Cause they're not gonna get in with their car, that's for sure.
Right, right.
The rest of the time they're using their car, right? They use their own vehicle?
Yeah,
Reluctantly.
right.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, and I know some of them were worried about their car.
I mean, if the contents of the stuff that's inside the vehicle is worth something to somebody, then that would probably be worthy of selling. I don't think you're gonna be able to sell the whole package because it's not a worthy thing to be using for.
Right, but are we in a position where we're gonna be selling police equipment?
No, but so if somebody's interested in the police equipment, like the sheriff's department,
Right, that's
they're
what
gonna
I'm
buy the whole
saying.
vehicle?
yeah,
Well, he's looking at,
Oh, is that-
he's gonna go over and take a look at it and tell us if
Right.
it's something he's interested in. You know, the chairman, I guess, spoke with him about it, and there was some interest in it, in the gun, and there was some radar equipment, there's radar equipment, there's radios, there's a weapon, there's some
well,
uniforms.
I'll tell you, as far as the vehicle goes and the value of it, I wouldn't underestimate what the value is to either the highway department or the town. Casey, you can just as well drive that car around there, that
Ford Explorer.
Ford Explorer, or around, is the pickup. If something is needed, or the help even
Take a tool.
can go from there to the grader or to some other thing.
Does it have a hitch on the back of it?
Well,
Can it haul a rake?
I don't know.
but I don't want to open up that can of worms. Please, I'm just saying that I think that the vehicle can be used, or
Between the listers and the highway department.
that's right, or some
whatever
darn
else
thing.
needs.
Or
I always
or
thought it
even
would
our
be a good
transfer
thing for
station
animal
people.
control,
You better take a
because
look at it.
we
better get a
always,
chance,
they're
better
always
take a look.
using
Well,
their
I
own
know it's-
vehicles.
One at a time.
I don't know where the value is.
Well, the other thing that Linda just brought up was animal control. Now, I've talked to these people on the animal control thing, and they want to come in and talk to us. We should do that, but you're right. That wouldn't make a bad animal control
Oh, fine.
pickup type
That's
thing
fine.
either. Because that's one of their concerns, is their liability with the vehicles and so forth. So we need to really give this some thought, but we don't need
And-
animal control pulling up with a siren and lights.
Well, and,
No, the police equipment should go if
no,
we
and
can
there,
sell it, yeah.
yeah, whatever.
Give the sheriff's
Well, let's-
department the option first. Have them go and take a
That's
look
right.
at it.
Has he been over to look at it?
Haven't seen anybody.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, let's get,
And maybe it has got a value to them. So if it does, well, fine, let's hear it.
let's see what it is.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, that takes care of that. Anything else with that? Nothing else. I want to go into discuss personnel,
Move that we go into executive session.
and we won't be making any decision on the air when we come out. So we can wrap up.
I have just before executive session, I just looked up on my notes. As far as alcohol and drug policy go, I just have a guideline I got from Bennington. We need a CDL drug and alcohol testing in place. All CDL employees must sign a statement confirming that they have received a copy of the CDL testing policy and needs to be retained in their CDL file. and annual driver's license checks need to be performed. So they're the three first steps, and the human resources from Bennington also offered, if because they've done it so long, she also offered to help if need. So
Yeah, somehow we should word that so it's in the personnel policy, that these things have to be done by personnel each year.
I think it's in this.
Also, there's, some kind of class you have to take, awareness
Yes.
training.
One person has to. So if you get picked, for example, you know, if it's Linda or whoever has to go to you, and you know, the van will go right to your shop or wherever you are.
I mean, awareness training, which means,
Reasonable suspicion.
reasonable suspicion
Right.
training, that's what it is.
Right.
I have to be trained, and I guess somebody else too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
exactly.
Probably.
You've been through that?
Both
You
of
must
you.
have been through that, right? No?
No,
RJ?
I have.
You
I
have.
say RJ probably has because he's in charge of people. Okay,
Okay, very good.
enough of that. There was one other thing I wanted to do before, I almost forgot, it was buried here. I want to remind people that Indian Massacre Road on May 16th, which is this weekend, at 9 a.m., there's going to be a bunch of people out there picking up all the garbage along the road and over the bank, and any help they can get, they'll greatly appreciate. So if you're interested, be there at 9 o'clock on May 16th, which I think is Saturday, correct?
Correct.
And you'll meet with some other people, and I'm sure they'll tell you how you can help out and get this stuff up to the road so we can get it out of there.
Once they get up to the side of the road, are we picking it up? What's happening?
Highway Department is gonna, send over a flat, or 1 ton there to, and I think a member of the transfer station will also be assisting with the pickup.
Good.
Good.
Okay.
That road,
That's not final yet, but I'm pretty sure that's what I requested.
what we decide to do with the, well, trash now, but the trailer in no,
Yeah.
Pownal.
The mobile home's going out to bid
Oh,
for
okay. Okay,
demolition.
that's all I need to
Yeah.
know.
Demolition
Yeah,
and
taken
site
care
I-
cleanup.
That's all I need to know. All right.
Since you're bringing up a bunch of things there, I got crack sealing people showing up, and they're supposedly supposed to do it on a Saturday.
On a Saturday, we're okay.
Yes.
This is road, I'm okay with it.
That's right. So it's just awareness to everybody that's
So if
watching.
they see people
Right.
Yeah.
directing traffic and stuff, they should be
Yeah.
aware of that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you know where the crack sealing is gonna be done?
North Pownal Road,
Okay.
between Mount Anthony Road and just past,
Skippery,
no, just, well, almost to Skippery,
past church in that area.
past Church's Farm.
They've got traffic control and signage.
They'll have traffic control, they'll have a sign package up. I'm gonna have to meet with them at some point on that day to bring the foreman around for the areas that, they're gonna have more material down there than what they're gonna need, so they got a couple sections on South Stream I wanted to hit too.
Okay.
Roberts Pond, actually,
Okay, but people out there should be aware that we're gonna have some road work on a weekend.
on a Saturday.
Okay. Okay, thanks. Okay, with that, I'll take a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.